about becoming whole. I'm going to teach you how to become whole. I'm going to give you tips and techniques that you can do with homework that you can do to become the better version of yourself. So becoming whole, we're going to be rebuilding your mind. And how do we rebuild your mind? Right? And those are the type things that we're going to work on. So we're going to rebuild your mind, rebuild your body, rebuild your soul through the RPI and leadership. Now, the RPI is something that I created. It is the acknowledge, release, practice, inner exploration, and empowerment. That is the foundation of the 5 pillars of the healing for the foundation of the Trinity of Fitness. That's how I came up with the boot camp. Now, the Trinity of Fitness is your spiritual, mental, and your physical. As a personal trainer, when I started this out, I started personal training. But what I realized, it's not about the working out, the physical part. You have to balance your mental and your spiritual. A lot of clients came to me because they wanted to change the way they look, right? They wanted to change the way they look because they seen themselves through the lens of other people. I see myself the way people said that I am. They said that I'm not attractive. They said that I'm fat. They said that I need to do. They said, and that's how they seen themselves. So I wanted to get into life coaching because I wanted to help them, and I wanted to get into cognitive behavior therapy. I wanted to learn some wholesome things to help them learn how to accept themselves the way they are. So that's why I came up with the Trinity of Fitness Boot Camp, spiritual, mental, and the physical. So that's what the RPI is. And the overview is we're going to be healing the mind. Healing the mind using CBT through is going to be thought awareness, emotional regulation, and behavior shifting. Right? So then we're going to strengthen the spirit. We're going to strengthen the spirit through prayer, reflection, scripture, and intentional grounding. And then strengthen the body through alignment. We're going to strengthen the body through alignment, routine, discipline, and movement. That's the physical part of it, okay? And then we're going to build leadership qualities rooted in humility, confidence, discipline, and integrity, which will increase emotional intelligence, self-compassion, and self-awareness. So that's what all the whole work, the whole program overview, that's what we're going to do. And we're also going to do our daily journaling prompts. So I hope you got your notebook because you're going to have to take notes because this is me teaching you how to help yourself. So I want you to use these tools. Also, before we get started, before I forget, because I always forget to give y'all what I got. The link in my bio is on the link tree. If you want this workbook, the Trinity of Fitness, the 7-Day Discipline Challenge, go ahead, sign up for it. In my link, it's free. I'll email it to you, but you have to subscribe to my YouTube. The reason why you have to subscribe to YouTube because the teaching that I'm going to do with this is over on YouTube, and I don't want you to miss it. And so go sign up for that. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The topic for today is awakening the self. Awakening self, right? And we're going to acknowledge where you are. So let's get into it. So the thing that we're going to do is self-honesty unlocks healing. Self-honesty unlocks healing. And we're going to start off with the RPI. So as I told you, the RPI is to acknowledge, release, practice, inner explore, and empowerment. So for the A today is going to be acknowledge emotional state. You're going to acknowledge your emotional state. You're going to release denial. And then you're going to practice stillness. That is so important. You're going to explore current needs, and you're going to empower with acceptance. That is what your RPI for today is going to be. And that, at the end of this, I'm going to teach you how to put that in practice. RPI is your checks and balances. I created that as your checks and balances, meaning whatever you're going through, you go ahead and check yourself, right? Take a step back and balance it up, the RPI. What just happened? How do I release this, right? How do I self-reflect? That's inner exploration. And then, well, you're going to practice. Whatever you practice is that breathing technique. And then you're going to self-reflect, which is your inner exploration. And then you're going to empower yourself, meaning that you're doing away with negative self-talk. You're going to not beat yourself up and say, man, I should have, that afterwards talk after the argument that I should have did. And I said, I should have said that. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to encourage ourselves. So let's focus on identifying harmful thought patterns. We're going to name them and we're going to understand their impact. Have to identify harmful thought patterns. Some examples of harmful thought patterns are oh, I'm not good enough for this. Oh, that'll never happen for me. Or, God don't bless me like that. Those are the type things. Anytime that you see yourself being successful, you go ahead and beat yourself up with the, dang, I wish that God ain't, and he won't do this for me. He do it for everybody else. And you have to name that thing, right? So you following the harmful thought patterns and then you put a name to it. What is the name to that? Basically, when we talk about driving out spirits, everyone just go and say, God, I rebuke anything that's bad for me, anything. But if you call it out by its name, right? That's the spirit that it is. A lot of you guys say narcissistic. Oh, I rebuke that, but it's just the spirit of confusion. Call it out by its name. Call out the confusion. That's what that means. Call them out by its name and understand their impact. Well, self-doubt. Because every time that you think or you come up with a creative idea, you want to be successful, the first thing that you think is, that'll never happen to me. Call it out by its name. Now, that is self-doubt, negative self-talk. Now, understand the impact of it. If I continue to think that I'm never going to be successful, then I'll never be successful. That's what I need you guys to understand. That's how you call it out by name and then you understand the impact. So to reverse that, you're going to speak life over yourself. It's in the power of the tongue. What you say will be your reality because it's your mind. CBT is cognitive behavior training, meaning that whatever you process, whatever you believe, your mind will process and it will become the truth. So if it's negative self-talk, then that's what your mind is going to believe, that you'll never have it. And you're not going to get in the creative flow to have it. So in your exercise, I don't know if we're going to have time to do it today. We'll come back to it, but I want you to write this down because this is something that you can do outside of this, outside of class today. So you can do spirit, which is spiritual, meaning you're going to do your 5 minutes of prayer. Right? This way, I'm teaching you how to pray for the things that you want, not pray for the things that you think you should be praying for. Do you understand? When you're praying and when you're focusing on you, when you're healing, you focus on yourself. Welcome, guys, to the Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp. When you're focusing on yourself, right? It's not being selfish. You're identifying, using the RPI, you're identifying what is it that you need. What are you lacking, right? And if you're lacking those things, then you know what to pray for. Don't worry, it's going to get better as we go through this class. This is every day, twice a day, okay? So your mind, we're going to label 5 emotions. Now, this is the one that I teach because a lot of us were only taught to have 2 emotions, angry and happy. If you make me sad, then I'm angry. If you make me cry, I'm angry. You understand? If you make me laugh, I'm happy. And you don't have too much in happy, but everything is in angry because we were only taught those 2 emotions. Well, it's not that we were taught. If that was the only 2 that was allowed in the household because that's the only 2 that's really understood. You know? So with that, I want you to label 5 emotions, right? And I want you to give it its proper name. So if you're crying, you're sad, baby. You're not angry. Give it the proper name. That's what I want you to learn how to do. Don't worry. You're going to get more homework. And then with your body, I want you to get 10 minutes of walking and stretching. Take 10 minutes to do something that you ain't done before. So if you don't like to go to the gym or work out or do any of these things, I don't like to say workout, I like to say training. If you don't want to do any of those things, then hey, just do something different. Instead of taking the elevator, take the steps. Or if you got too much of a load, especially women, when y'all go to work, y'all got a million bags. That's just what we do because men created book bags and they created it for themselves. All they need is 2 items and they have a book bag. For us, we need a bunch of compartments because we have a bunch of things. So go ahead, go to your office, drop your stuff off. But for lunch, because all you grabbing is your purse, baby, because you ready to eat. I know you happy. Take the stairs. And then when you come back, go up the stairs. Okay? Try something different. All right. These are things that I want to challenge you with and make you really think deeper. So why we fear facing ourselves? Why is that so hard? That should be the easiest thing, is to face ourselves versus someone else facing us. We would rather, and this is true, I'm only being honest here. We would rather go out into the world, right? and face everyone else and live up to their expectations and try to fit in with their expectations versus looking in the mirror and seeing ourselves for who we are. The truth. Meaning you looking in the mirror and all this faking it till you make it, right? All this you pretending to have, all this, I got it, I got it. I need you to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Because, baby, you can have it, but if you go about it your way. And the reason why I say you can have any and everything that you want, you can. You just have to change the way you think. Change your state of mind. That's the part of how I'm going to save the world. I'm going to teach you how to heal. Acknowledging truth about yourself. You acknowledge the truth about yourself. What is the truth about me? Well, I don't have it. I want to live this luxury lifestyle. I want to become, a content creator. I want to become the best motivational speaker. I want to become the best leader. I want to be that person. But you're going about it through the trending way of everyone else's way. But have you tried it your way? By acknowledging, hey, you getting on social media doing tap dancing and everything else, and that's not even your skill. Your skill is to teach, but you're afraid to show the world what your real skill is because you're afraid of being judged. That's where your money at. That's where your millions of dollars and your success and everything that you want, that's where that's at. In your true authentic self. Once again, this is what I want you to write down. Why do we fear ourselves? Those are things that we just have to really look at. There's no reason you should be able to fear yourself. You should be able to look in the mirror and be your true authentic self. How avoiding feelings delays healing. When you avoid your feelings, you delay your healing because you're not acknowledging. You're not acknowledging what is. You're hurt, right? I use relationships a lot because that's something that everybody goes through and everyone deals with it differently. So you look at, if you don't acknowledge that that person hurt your feelings and you just go on about your day. I've done it. Listen, oh, well, that didn't work out. So on to the next. That job didn't work out. Go find me another one. But you'll constantly keep running to go find the next because you never identify what your true feelings was. Whatever that job, maybe you church butt hurt, maybe they hurt your feelings at the job. Maybe they overlooked you so many times for promotion. Maybe in your relationship, he just won't do right or she just won't do right, and it hurt you. However, until you acknowledge it, it'll always delay your healing because you're never going to truly face it. In healing, you have to face everything that is a roadblock. And hurt is a roadblock. You got to figure out why it hurt. Sometimes things hurt only because of things that happened in our childhood, as I explained. In our childhood, what happened is you had abandonment issues. And in those abandonment issues, now as an adult, you find yourself chasing. You find yourself wanting, searching for it. And then when you get it, you don't want it anymore. It's just something that you desire and you long for. And now you got it. You don't know what to do with it and you throw it to the side. So the courage in admitting I need help. And that's another thing. Now, let's talk about that. Because in this season, in this generation, we'll say, that is the hardest part to do is ask for help. It's always been a hard thing for certain cultures to say I need help because, they tell you, oh no, therapy, that ain't for us. But a lot of us, the problem now is you can't trust anyone. Even with the therapist, you can't even trust a therapist. Because look, how many times have you gotten on social media and the therapist or whoever, the confidant, is telling all the business? Oh, I had a client that did this. Yeah, they may not say the client name, but the client is watching them talk about them. Do you understand? When you have trust issues, right? Like with my clients with life coaching, I don't use them as an example unless I ask them, can I use your situation as an example? I don't use them as an example. I definitely don't say their name, but even if leaving their name out and knowing that I'm on social media, I don't even use their situation as an example. And the reason being is because that person has trust issues. And a lot of people think that, oh, I'm not using their name, so I'm not doing any harm. It's just the fact that it get back to them. And it's already, they have trust issues. So they feel judged. So that's why you have to be very careful. So in these times of people needing help, they don't know who to go to. Who do I go to? Who do I go to? Who do I talk to? Who's going to help me? You know? And then they go through things alone. And that's why some of them don't make it to the other side. They don't make it to the other side because they don't know that it is another side to make it to. Meaning that it is a healing part to what they're going through. It's going to get better at one point, but they don't know how to get there because they can't trust anyone. But I'm here to tell you, it is okay to ask for help. And I always refer people out to therapy. Don't just do life coaching. Do therapy as well. Find you a therapist, because life coaching deals with creating the right now, right? What you create, and then with your future, right? So how can I get you to your end all be all goal? I need to keep you organized. A therapist take you back to your healing, which is your past. Life coaching, we disconnect from the past. We let that timeline collapse because it happened. We need to create the right now. Therapist is starting from your present, take you back to your past to heal you, to get you to your present, and they touch a little bit on the future. They don't touch so much on the future because they're trying to make sure that you're balanced in your present. So, why acknowledgement is the first leadership step? In the RPI, the reason why acknowledge, that's part of RPI, is the first step to the leadership is because in order to become the best version of you, in order to do what you need to do or meet any goals or anything, in order to heal, you have to identify, what are you healing from? What do you need healing from? And a lot of people heal from the right now, meaning that you just went through that breakup, you just got fired, you just whatever, went off on somebody. Today was the day, it was the last time, and I am done. I'm about to go heal. But that's not what you're healing from. That's what triggered it. What you're healing from is something way back in your childhood trauma. So that is where I come in to help you build and become the best version of yourself. So now this is your homework. I hope y'all got your notebook. If y'all joining in, you better go get a notebook. We halfway through the first exercise, the first lesson today. So with your homework, I want you to write down, where am I emotionally, spiritually, physically? Okay? Where am I emotionally, spiritually, and physically? Now, I want you to list 10 things you are tired of carrying. 10 things. I didn't say solve the problem. I didn't say do any of that. I said just list them. We're going to come back to it because through my teaching, now I'm going to teach you how to work to those things. But we got ways to go. Just list 10 things you're tired of. You're tired of carrying. Don't force yourself to find 10 things because I'm sure y'all can find 50, but just give me 10. And guess what? Being a mom, being a single mom, being a single dad, being a dad, guess what? That can be on the list too. That does not mean that you dislike your kids. That does not mean that you don't want your kids. That does not mean anything. What that means is that is something that you're tired of carrying on your own. Okay? Now, what you're going to journal is, what truth about yourself have you been avoiding? What's the truth about you that you've been avoiding? Okay? You got it? All right, now your declaration, because I don't do affirmations over here. I don't do affirmations because the difference between declarations and affirmations is a constant thing that you repeat, and they tell you that, and it's supposed to be a scientific fact that if you keep repeating it, in your mind will become, because what you think you become, right? And so yeah, but here's the thing, but if you never step into the believing, you'll always just keep saying. Affirmations is trying to convince you to believe that you are that thing. But declarations, I declare, and I'm telling you that I am that thing. I declare it to be so. This is who I am. I become that. That's what I teach. So you're going to become in here. I honor where, this is your declaration. I honor where I am today without shame. I embrace truth because truth heals. I allow myself to be real, honest, and fully seen within my own heart. Today begins my transformation. If you want the 7-day discipline challenge workbook, it is a partial workbook, meaning that I don't have the journaling pages. It is in my link. Go to my link, sign up for it, and I'll email it to you with my tribe. I don't call it a community. I don't call it a Trinity of Fitness community. I call it a Trinity of Fitness tribe. And the reason why I call it a tribe, because a tribe is what true family is. A tribe is I can't build unless you build. I can't leave you behind, because if I leave you behind, then the whole program it fails. So no one here is bigger than the program. No one is better than each other. We are from a tribe of the same cloth, of trying to do the same thing and heal the world and heal. A community is just that. People come together, but they all have their different opinions about things. And then there's someone that's going to challenge you, which is going to defeat the purpose of you feeling confident, because it's always going to be someone there that's going to try and beat you down. So that's why I'm saying community. We a tribe over here. So come join the tribe. And I thank you guys for joining in. If you want the things that you need, go to my link tree, sign up for it. My YouTube is Chat with Coach Nye. These videos will be on there. And then I'll be back tonight about 8 o'clock to teach the same thing. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to do, 2 a day. And this is because this is my first time introducing it to the live, to TikTok live. So I may not have to do 2 a days every time. I may just do 1 and then just put it up, video up. So listen, if no one told you today, I'm telling you now, I love you and I'm so proud of you. Remember to pour into your cup before you pour into others. God will pour into your cup until it overflow. That overflow is not for everyone. That overflow is for the people that God is going to send your way. And what's in your cup does not always mean money, okay? Remember, currency is energy. I love you guys. I love you guys. And I want you guys to be great. I'll see you back at 8 o'clock tonight if you decide to join. If you do, bring your notebook and tell your homegirl, tell your homeboy to join. Bring their workbook. Bring their notebook, because we got a lot of stuff to write and learn. I love you. I love you. I love you. Coach Nye out.